God damn.
You're nuts, man. I love it.
And it's I was talking about the subtleties before that I love in your movie, and another scene. And this was in Pulp Fiction. After that whole goddamn coffee scene at your house, the character that you played. When the wolf just tips his cup to you. Yeah. Goddamn brilliant. It's so subtle. And that coffee scene was such a big scene. And he just acknowledges it with the little nod and the tip of the cup like, this is good. Goddamn brilliant, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting character, too. Like, the wolf was such an interesting character. This guy who all these murderers respect, who's going to clean up this mess, is this polite cornball who likes a good cup of joe and makes little jokes with the gal.
Exactly. It's those subtleties, man, that just make it gold, man.
Actually, one of my favorite little moments in there is, like, you have to watch it a bunch of times to catch it, is when the wolf is on the phone when they're calling him about going and cleaning up the mess, seems to be at a cocktail party at 7 in the morning.
Right.
That's all good. Which I got, one of these days I got to be cool enough to have a cocktail party at 7 in the morning.
7, wear a tux, still looks great.
And he's like, they're like, they're like, okay, so here's what happened. This has happened. This happened. So he's just making a note, all right, of just writing down the big high points. So he's like, Jules, black. Vincent, white. One body, no head.
No head. His little notepad.
The fact that you had Marcellus Wallace be raped with a ball in his mouth and somehow pull it off that he was going to win. That's the amazing part, was that not only was he brutally raped, but then he gets the line, I'm going to get medieval.
Right.
He comes back and he wins. It was really amazing, these character things you do.
Yeah, actually, get evil on my ass. That's my show me the money. that's my little catchphrase, I think.
Yeah.
Out of all of them, that's the one that kind of enter the consciousness.
That's a good one to have, though. Yeah.
And kind of Bruce Willis's character was, you didn't quite see that Bruce Willis until Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And then he kind of was doing that character a little more. Before that, it was more of the jokey, smirking kind of
like Hudson Hawk,
right,
kind of guy.
That and from what I've read, you kind of told him, I don't want to see any smirking smiles. I don't want to see that Bruce Willis.
No, but it's actually it is kind of funny. Bruce really, that really showed him off in a whole different light. Even though it actually doesn't, he's not that different than he was from his action movies. But he kind of just acted more like a cool 50s actor.
Right.
To me, he reminded me of Aldo Ray, an old actor I always loved. And Bruce Willis actually is one of the few actors who's a star that I could imagine being a star in the 50s. Mm-hmm. I could see him as a Glenn Ford, kind of star. And but yeah, he after he did Pulp Fiction, he actually really took that ball and kind of ran with it. Then started doing other movies with other directors he admired and stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been really proud of his career.
And I'm not going to ask you the obvious question, which I think is the hack Pulp Fiction question. What's in this case? What's the gold thing in the case? Just leave it alone. Let it sit. Read the internet to figure it out. What I want to know is, did Bruce Willis's character key Vince's car?
Oh, yes, and that's very good on your part.
Okay, all right.
That's very good reading between the lines.
Good,
yes.
good. All right. I figured that because he was pissed at him.
Yeah.
Punchy.
Punchy, right.
That whole exchange is just great. And he kind of looks at him and you know he had to get back at him.
Yeah, to me, like, the subtext going on there is you have the two stars of the movie, and they can't share a frame together.
Yeah.
They just the minute that they actually share the same frame together, they get mad at each other. It's like two Elvises can't meet, or else the world stops.
Yep. Brilliant, man.
And Samuel Jackson, the speech he put, it's amazing how many things that you do that just all of a sudden are a part of pop culture, man. I mean, that's probably the most famous thing he's done on film, is that character, that speech he had made.
When did you know that film was going to be as huge as it became?
Well,
because it was so much different than anything else that came out.
Well, it's actually funny because I didn't have a whole lot of perspective on it for the simple fact that it's like, I made it, we showed it to a couple of audiences, I showed it to some friends, but we were rushing to get it done in time for the Cannes Film Festival. And we only finished it, okay, here's a print, we've got it done, okay, I got a print we can show, about 7 days before the festival started. So it's not like I made it and had like it was like kind of leisurely about it. No, we had just done it. And then I go to France and I go see it at the Cannes Film Festival, really for the first time since we were done. And then we win the Palme d'Or. And so then I'm on the whirlwind tour on it. So it was like really.
I just finished this.
Yeah, it really did. And so but they winning the Palme d'Or helped the movie out so much because. It could have been debated. It could have been this. It could have been that. But that and the whole violent issue, that just stopped it all. I mean, we won the best prize you can win in cinema.
And people were questioning the casting with John Travolta because people, it's like, oh, the Look Who's Talking, baby talking movie guy is going to be in this, and you took him, and obviously. You do have, like Jimmy said before, this talent of bringing stuff out of actors that no one has seen before or expects. It's amazing.
It's a vision because that's taking a massive chance on your little baby,
Well, it's funny. It's just like I'm just a good caster, all right. Most of the.
But who would know John Travolta? That's what I'm trying to say. I mean that you got it out of him.
Well, but I remember. I remember more than just Vinny Barbarino. I always thought he was fantastic. And one of my favorite movies is the Brian De Palma movie Blowout. I love Blowout.
Yeah, right
He's
on.
fantastic in Blowout. I love him in that. So it's like, if he did that, he can do this.
Nancy Allen, right?
Yes, exactly.
Remember after Dress to Kill, how sexy she was before stupid Michael Caine tried to attack her and she blocked the whole thing? Really, what a lovely girl.
I know, Michael Caine ruins a perfectly good strip scene.
I can't tell you. Growing up on cable, I would always watch certain scenes. You know what I mean, and to get to get ready to go. And that was one of them. And there was a strip scene in Stir Crazy where there was a little ass wiggle.
Was there also another? This is just finally getting my curiosities taken care of. A little self-serving, but that scene, John Travolta, Uma Thurman sitting there, and she's describing how every episode of her failed TV series would end with her telling a joke.
Yes.
Was that an homage to Welcome Back, Kotter, where Gabe Kaplan at the end would tell his wife a joke every time? Every time I watched that, I was like, see, I think he might have thrown that in as a little homage.
God, no, I didn't do that on purpose, but that completely works.
It does.
That completely works. No, to me, that was just like the kind of gimmicky thing that a female secret agent show would have.
It was every episode of Welcome Back,
Yeah, but you're right. John never thought about that. I can't wait to tell that to him.
You should lie from now on.
A lot of television.
That was a brilliant question.
Hey, I'm sad to say we got to get him out of here. Quentin,
man.
Best guest ever, man. This has been a lot of fun.
So much fun. I'm sorry that I'm getting the vaudeville hook.
I'm thinking we might become friends now.
Yeah, I think so too.
Anytime you're in New York, please. Anytime you got free reign here.
Oh, you got it, man. You got it.
Love to have you back.
Let's give Grindhouse the big plug. So it's a double feature. What do you want to say about it, Quentin?
Oh man. Well, the thing about it is it's hard to just take the forum and just not just sound like you're hyping stuff up. But the one thing I can say about Grindhouse, man, you go and you pay your money, you're gonna have a night out at the movies. I mean, you're not just renting a seat. Movie's over, get the hell out. You're gonna know you saw something that night.
You will talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a great movie, and man, thanks for coming in. You were fantastic.
Absolutely.
It's my pleasure. My pleasure.
Love it.
Grindhouse premieres Friday, and
our audience, for the most part, will love this
Yeah.
movie. I mean, I know that's like just saying, but we know our audience that they're going to love.
they're degenerates and they're
psychopaths.
Well,
and that means they're my audience.
they're all stuntman Mike.
They're our audience.
Picture stuntman Mike, but 300 pounds with a worse mullet.
The Opie and Anthony audience must be at this theater. Well, yeah. But we love them. We love them. Yeah. Grindhouse opens this Friday. Quentin, this has been beyond a pleasure. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
We'll continue. It's Opie and Anthony.